And then I've got on my list, first up is Ann W. So Ann W, if you'd like to unmute.
Oh, you know I do.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. I'm so excited. I'm just really excited to be here.
Oh,
I
I'm
this
glad you.
is a really good energy for this, and I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be groovy. It always is, but especially groovy.
I think it's going to be especially good.
Eclipse energy and all of that. If you're into that
Yeah.
sort of thing, with a lot of clearing and letting go, and
Yeah.
yeah, just let it go. Just let it go. You don't have to do anything. Just let it go.
Love it. So
Telling
what's
you.
your intention, or do you have something a little more specific?
Oh,
Would you
I like to
right
just
away?
I like for it to come through however, whatever I need to
Horizon.
know.
All right.
Whatever, my highest and best good for me and all
Perfect.
concerned.
What's your what color, what three numbers do you choose
I'm
between
gonna
1 and
say
40?
4,
Mhm.
11, 22. And
And
my color tonight is chartreuse.
oh my gosh.
And it's the yellow green, please. The more
Um,
yellow green of chartreuse, like this kind of
so
color.
can
Can you
we
see
do
that?
this
The
one?
green. Yeah,
Is
yeah,
that does
yeah.
that work? Okay,
That works. That works. That
nice. So this
works.
is what we're working with.
Oh my gosh, so perfect. You're just killing me.
I love it. And it's
Last
got that
time
yellowy.
22,
Yeah.
last time 22 was not my lavender, which is one of my
No,
very favorite. My mother brings that color to me all the time.
that's right.
All the time.
Did you get your painting or your bag yet?
I
Oh, there it is.
just got it
Yay.
today.
It's your, I can only see your background, but I know what it
Oh,
looks
never mind. Oh, if I put it in front of my face, I
like.
forget what I'm supposed to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I love it. I'm so excited. There'd be my little special things to bring to the beach bag, like just my,
Oh, that's a
special
good,
stuff.
it's this little sacred pouch to
Yes, my sacred pouch, and this is about the size I need for all my rocks and such.
heck yeah.
Yes,
You know you're going to be bringing back more than you bring
and
down.
exactly, exactly.
All right.
I'm super excited,
These are great colors.
aren't they? Oh yeah, oh yeah. I remember the last time I picked 22. It was a beautiful color. It was like an opalescent, almost as like a creamy color,
But it
which was
was
very
not that.
nice. It was very nice, and I would have been happy with that. But I'm not surprised that it turned into this beautiful lilac, purple,
Yes.
lavender. That
What is this one called? Lilac Mist.
lilac mist,
Ooh,
groovy,
sounds
hmm
mysterious. Okay.
doesn't it?
Mhm.
Oof, I see a kitty cat already.
Little
That's
ears
just
right
me.
here.
I did. Yeah, the out there.
Hmm. Ooh, this one just wants to run. I just got this, I got a scent of um like a field, like fresh cut grass.
Oh yeah, meadow.
Yeah, all the purples like Sam
Yeah.
out. Oh, I've got this sand. Do you build sand castles at all when you go down to the beach?
Sometimes, not a
Playing with the
lot,
sand.
honestly. I like to just,
Your granddaughter play with the
she
sand?
does like to play with the sand. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
She
was
does. She
feeling some
does.
playful playing in the digging in the sand.
I mean, I think that's a wonderful idea. I think I do need to dig my feet in there more and really
Mhm.
just connect with it.
There's something about ions or something with this sand.
Mm-hmm.
Something cool like that.
Yep.
All right, what do we got going on here? It feels viney and growth.
Mm-hmm.
Sit it for a second
Definitely.
here. Set my toys back. I'm really drawn to this area right here.
Oh, where are my glasses? Now I can actually see.
And now let me zoom in here too. Well, I was able to zoom in earlier. Let's see. Oh, that's weird.
It looks good.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's something about that yellow. I feel like it's like yellow roses.
Ooh.
What's cool about this one is I feel like it's kind of pointing down. It's an unusual position for the rose. The kind of hanging upside down, but it's
Mm-hmm.
really, I mean, I don't know. I suppose they can be however they want to be.
Definitely.
And a little
If it's
thorn.
on a vine, sometimes roses grow on vines that
You know
are
what?
like
I just heard it's
they're
like, oh,
different.
it's a
Yeah.
magnolia.
Oh,
That's
magnolia
why it's like a
blossom.
branch.
Yeah, magnolia
Okay.
tree with the blossom. And I think their buds are like a yellowy green color, and then
Are
they open
they?
up to that beautiful pinky purple.
Oh, I
Well,
love
they're
that.
different colors. They can be different colors. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's got like swirlies on the branches.
Hmm.
Of course it does.
Hmm. Big surprise.
Hmm. That's that southern accent that comes through you. I
I
swear you're
know.
channeling someone when that comes through.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do think so.
And I feel like that's what this is like magnolia, because I usually see that in the southern
The
US.
southern. Yeah, yeah.
They're pretty and they smell real good.
Mm.
Maybe that's what I was smelling.
Magnolia.
You going to Georgia? Well, you're not too far from there.
I'm in South Carolina, so we
Yeah.
have those. We have that
Uh,
goodness.
and it's just a little bit of emphasis on these things. Oh, and there's like a nice leaf, big old fat leaf. Boom.
Oof.
There's that kid energy that's coming out that just wants to like make mud pies. There's something coming through, like just
Hmm.
blam. It's like just if you said to a kid like, "Hey, draw a leaf," it would just be like blap blap blap,
Yeah,
and it'd be
yep.
perfect, right? That's what it feels.
Exactly, exactly, and they are
No.
perfect.
I
Mm.
think when you said earlier, you're like, let the flow or whatever, that's the same
Yeah,
kind of energy,
yeah,
just like blop
very
it out.
flowy. I love it. This is perfect.
I can smell it all now. It kind of looks like lemon tree too. Where'd that purple go?
It's all the things.
It is. It's fresh.
Delicious,
That's the word I'm hearing is fresh. Fresh, new, and ready to
fresh,
go.
new. Oh well, it's very appropriate.
Yeah, all
We
right.
are actually, should I tell you? We're looking at
Sure.
a house tomorrow that we've
Ooh.
seen it once, and I got to tell you, it's like my dream home.
Oh my God.
I'm not even kidding you. It's like the unicorn that I never thought that I wasn't expecting it. I wasn't expecting it to
Very cool.
that,
On some
you
level,
know.
yes, must have been. But yeah, that's
So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's
if
not a
there's a
done deal.
magnolia tree in the backyard, I'm gonna freak out.
It could happen. That could happen. Yeah.
That's cool.
A lot happened when I was visiting it, though.
Oh,
A
I
lot
bet.
happened, like things fell out of the sky.
I was like, oh, you're home.
And
Hi,
oh
welcome
my
back.
no, there was a in the foyer, there
Hmm.
were these little on a table, there were these little gnomes, and they were so freaking cute. And I'm like, hi, little buddies, you want to come
Yeah.
home with me? I'm like, oh, that would not be right. That'd be just wrong. And then I looked again and I saw this framed, like framed signature from the artist in the little note. And I looked again, I have one of his pieces
What?
that one of my friends, good friends, gave
Wow.
to me because they're like, you have to have this. And it's a pickle gnome. It's a dill pickle gnome. And he is
What?
laughing his ass off. And he just looks like someone just told him like the raunchiest joke.
Oh,
And
that's
he's just like
fantastic.
splitting a gut. Like, and I love him because it's like you need that in your life. You need that level of humor in your life. But
Yeah.
to find them there, how random. I mean, this was something that was in
I've never even
Vermont.
heard of a pickle gnome and
Well, he literally is like sitting on with dill pickles all around and eating a pickle chip. I'm gonna send you a picture of it. It's so cute. He's so
I need to,
adorable.
please.
He's so adorable. I love him. And but then to see them there,
Uh-huh.
his little cohorts, his little buddies,
That's
I was like,
fantastic. Yeah.
wow,
Yeah,
wow.
so this one over here kind of looks like a fortune cookie to me too. So I feel like there's messages in it for you.
Uh-huh.
I think that yellow, and look at how the green and yellow mixed into like your chartreuse that
Thanks.
it became that. There's
Linda, when you
two
showed me that
little
green, I
birds.
was gonna
Mhm.
say, don't, I wouldn't be sad if you mixed a little yellow with that. And I'm like, no, keep your mouth shut. Just it's gonna
And
be what
then
it will
there it
be.
was.
And 11 was yellow. I'm not even kidding you right now,
That's
people.
fantastic.
That's
So
how amazing this
these two
is.
little, there's like a little purple bird here and a little purple
Oh,
bird here.
we don't go.
They're like just kind of hanging out in their little
Yep,
space.
yep, yep.
Lots of growth, lots of green. There's a equidistant cross over here and an equidistant cross over here. So it's like almost like as within, as without, like what's going on in
Yes,
here is coming
yes,
out.
yes, yes. Up and
I feel like
down.
that yellow and that chartreuse, what that's about is that mixture of your heart and your solar
Yes,
plexus, you know, like
yes,
you
yes,
are activated,
yes.
ready to go and ready to receive what what's
Yeah.
matching you, what's perfectly matching you.
Matching, exactly. That's what I've been feeling. I mean, this is not an easy energy, I don't think. I think a lot of people would agree that this is not, the eclipse energy, if you're tuning into it, that can be
Oh,
really.
me, I love this shit, but I will thrive in a
But
crisis and
yeah,
I'm
I'm like, for
sluggish.
whatever
Like it's just
reason, this is my jam, man. I'm
it's
like
fun,
feeling
yeah.
it, all the feels, and I'm
Yeah.
okay with it. And I'm like, oh,
I'm
just bring it
like,
on,
oh,
bring it on.
I'm on high alert. I'm on
It's
duty or
falling
whatever.
away. I'm
That's
awake all night. I don't care. It's like, it's all good.
yeah, my furnace went out this morning. Like
Oh
there's all kinds
no.
of chaos and I just freaking love it because I'm so good at it now.
Good girl. Good
All right, what's the
jobby.
card for you?
I love it. Thank you so much.
Oh, there we go. Rest and recuperation. So again, with what you're saying, you don't have to do anything. Look at that home back there.
I
Just
swear
there.
to
The lights
you.
are
I
on.
swear to you.
Your
This is
sacred
the way it's
space.
happening. Yeah.
Now is the time to seek comfort and rest in your sacred space. And I feel like as you rest in that sacred space in your body and that solar plexus heart energy, like I could feel it. Like when I
It's
put
just,
my hands there, it's just like, oh,
yeah,
it's so like
yeah, yeah,
comforting.
yes.
And yeah, so
Like
you,
right, like not forced in any way,
mm,
shape, or form.
no,
It's
just
just,
rest in
it's
it.
right. Yeah,
Rest in your
yeah.
sacred space. And that's why it's going to be reflected to you in your external.
Yep,
Simple. Done.
yep. Boop. Check
Awesome.
off the
Thanks so
list.
much, Anne.
You'll see me next week going, nothing went right.
I mean, like, there's a
No,
better
I'm just
one,
joking. I'm
whatever.
just joking. That was a joke. That's not how it's gonna be.
It's gonna be fun because you're having fun with it anyway.
Yes.
So
Either way. And I've just
whatever.
been saying that all along. I'm like, hey, it
Outcome doesn't
is what it
really
is. It is what
whatever.
it
It's
is. All
you're
right. Well,
resting
thank
in your
you.
sacred space either way.
Thank you, darling. Happy
Awesome. Great
birthday again if
message.
I don't get to say it again
Oh,
to
thank
you.
you so much.
Love you. Bye.
Love you too. Bye-bye. Susan, are you next? Is that you? Yes.
Me, Susan.
I'm sorry, Susan Cross. Gosh, there's two Susans or more.
Happy birthday.
Thank
You'll
you.
hear that many times today, but I hope you really had a great day.
I'll
And
take
thanks
it.
for serving on your birthday as well.
Oh, I love that you use that word. Thank you. Because I get all up in my head sometimes right before I start. And then I just have to like calm myself down. And that's what I said. I was like, please just let me be of service. Like everything else, just let it, like everything else is just kind of noise. But yeah. So I'm glad you said that. Thank you. So what's on your mind today?
Um, Lots of things brewing, revealing. So I just like some guidance, whatever is important for me to receive.
You got it. And you have three numbers between 1 and 40?
11, 13, 24.
11, 13, and 24. All right, so some purple, yellow, green. And you have oh, I shouldn't have, you got to peek before you picked your other color. What's your other?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Um, I'd say light blue, but light blue is definitely not my color, but I'll go with light blue.
That's what you like? All right, let's do light blue. How's that? That looks nice with us too.
Yeah,
All right.
better than I expected.
It'll be perfect.
As always. That's the tricky
Peeled
part, to go
banana.
with the intuition and not with what my mind says.
Uh-huh. That's the trick, isn't it? Music notes, music and bananas, apples and bananas. You always have this wonderful childlike energy that comes through. And I think, like, I don't know you very well, but I feel like you're a rather serious person typically. No?
I think I have both, but it
Okay.
is so beautifully reflected through you. So it's like I feel it through you. And it's just fun to be with you, even if it's just like 5 minutes on the call.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah, there's this like child, maybe, yeah, so maybe our inner
Yeah,
child,
we
our inner
both
children
seem to
like to
have
play
that
together.
part, and they resonate. So
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, it's like, no, I don't need to go all the way to the edge. Okay.
looks nice.
Yeah. It's got I don't know what it'll end up, but I want to just point out that it kind of looks like there's a reflection there, like kind of like a reflection or something. But it feels very like nature landscapey to me. And I'm seeing like a figure right here.
I see that.
It's really clear to me all of a sudden. Like I can't even get to my paints fast enough to outline it. It's kind of funny. It's like it really needs to be seen like now. I feel like there's like a head and a torso and then an arm out, and I don't know if they're ice skating or something, but I really just want to outline this arm first. We'll see where that goes, where that takes us.
To me, it looks like could be like like a scarf or something, like
Oh,
one of
okay.
those chiffon ones. Like there's a playful energy to that somehow.
Yeah, I like, yeah, blowing in the wind kind of thing, right?
Mm.
What is the Okay, well, I'm gonna go with it, and forgive me if this is just a little too weird, but yeah, it's like it's it's a person in a banana suit. I'm just gonna say it.
We've had the pumpkin house and the little fat caterpillar, so not surprised.
I love them. And they're just being silly. It looked like a banana when we first started, but I really did not expect it to be. I do think they're ice skating too. That's talent, man, to like get out there and ice skates in a banana suit. I really feel like it's kind of following on this theme we were talking about before of really just putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and silly. I don't know that I want to say like get out there in a banana suit, but maybe there's an equivalent.
I'll send you a picture when I find out what it is.
What is this? Oh, this looks like a castle back here. I love castles as a symbol of like our ideals. So when castles, I think some castle-y type stuff showed up for you before.
That was on the relationship one.
Okay. It feels like it's connected to that. This feels like castle-y stuff back here too, again. Definitely. And so it's kind of, yeah, like showing up on your your preferred, your ideals. You might have to be in a position of showing up in your banana suit. I feel like saying banana suit is equivalent to saying like birthday suit, you know what I mean? Like being vulnerable to that point. It's very silly. Mm. And I feel so like for me, as you know, what's flowing through me is, or like I'm trying to describe what I'm feeling is this kind of like um I don't know, I don't want to call it embarrassment because I don't feel like like when I think of embarrassment, I think of like a shame kind of embarrassment, like, oh gosh, what do people think of me kind of thing. But it's like a nervous excitement, kind of silly, fun feeling. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna tell her that there's a person in a banana suit, you know what I mean? And so it's that energy that's coming out that I think will, like, you might find yourself in a position where you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna say this thing. I'm gonna do this thing. Holy crap, I'm gonna do this thing, whatever it is. It's gonna be really fun though. And you're like, I can't believe I'm doing this. Kind of like you were like, I can't believe I'm saying light blue. So doing something new and novel, I think what's funny to me about the person being in a banana suit and then also on ice is like bananas are comically slippery. And then you're like ice skating. So it's almost like taking the joke of it and like getting ahead of it in a way is like, I'm going to be so good at being on slippery things that I'm actually being the banana rather than slipping on it. Let's see what's back here. That just looks like a tree. We're going to just give it some trunks. There's growth and feels very protected. You laughing, Anne? Here we go. And then I want to take this one. And so what's so interesting to me, we've got this white space over here. And for anybody who's had like the full length hour-long session or whatever, I always leave, almost always, it's unusual to not have white space around. And I usually say the white space is about, is like, I interpret the white space as the non-physical realm, and then where the paint is the material realm. So I feel like the non-physical realm is really very active in what you're doing right now. Or like there's a thin veil. And it may be uncomfortable because this outfit looks pretty dang uncomfortable, but also amazing. All right.
It's beautiful.
So
Perfectly matches my serious.
it goes with your little pumpkin and stuff. I don't know what the stuff with peels and whatnot. There's something about that thick skin, I think, too. It might have something to do with it. It's very similar to, there's that sweetness inside and you have to work a little bit to get down into it. But so I think just being yourself and that all that yellow. I mean, it's yellow head to toe. So it's definitely yourself energy. I feel like it's, coming off the shore, you're like going out onto the ice, you're risking, vulnerability, but it feels so confident and sure, like at the same time. And there's this like clear, somewhat clear vision of this castle back here. And then kind of like the sky is lit up with the light of the non-physical, like of the divine. And then also on the bottom too, it's more internal than external. External may show up with so the divine influence may show up in that kind of surprise element, like how the blue was. You're like, I don't know why I'm picking that, but I'm picking it, and it's just right. And so it feels like that's how it's going to show up for you.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Let's see what the cards say real quick too. And How am I doing on time? I feel like I'm going quicker. At some point, I might get a timer. We'll see. Stepping stones. Thank you, Ann. So stepping stones, there's no such thing as a block in the unending, persistent stream of creativity. Only opportunities to stabilize and catch your breath. So take your time. I think that's kind of like you're learning to skate, right? Like, so learn to skate. I love that it's on a stream at the same time. And then I feel like the building blocks of that too reflect the castle energy of like that strength and thing. So you might find yourself, so it's kind of like this, you know. There you
Beautiful.
go. You're
Thank
on
you
the
so
stream
much.
of creativity. You're very welcome. We have a couple
And
people.
as usual, please save my painting.
Absolutely. You got it. We'll put it to the side. Okay.
Mm.
All right, let me just check. I got the all right. And then let's see. Hi, Yana, you're next.
Yay!
How you doing?
Fine, thanks.
Good. All right, I'll just find you here. Mhm. There you are. Hi. All right. And so what's on your mind today? What kind of intention would you like for your painting?
General intention, but happiness and connection is very present for me now.
Those are beautiful words. I love that. All right, 3 numbers from 1 to 40.
1, 4, and 22.
And color?
Red.
Red. All right. Oh, I love that. We had this before too. You had like these deep colors, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, 1. Spirally. 4. Oh, that one. It's like just jumping. And 22. Red. So glad I got another thing of plastic. So are you on holiday?
Yes, yes.
Nice. How's the weather? You guys having storms out there or no?
No, just a little bit rainy, but
Upward momentum here. Yeah, there's this very much like up and down kind of thing. Happiness and connection. Is that what you said?
yeah.
I like that. I love how there's light coming through the middle. Isn't that interesting? Feels like a deep in the forest.
Mm-hmm.
There's the little sprites. And then right in the center is looking like it's interesting. So there's a couple things going on here that I'm feeling. And one of them is like, there's this figure, like there's the face and there's like this hair kind of rising up and they almost have armor on. But on the armor is like this butterfly.
Mm.
So I'm going to start with that butterfly. See what happens with that. It feels like it's made out of light, the light being. both the butterfly and the figure. I want to call it a warrior, kind of like, feels like a warrior. And then butterfly, I feel like there's transformation. It's coming right out of that green too. So it's like in the heart, bringing light, and this kind of equidistant cross shape too. The connection between bringing your light and your happiness is like it correlates. So the more that you just bring in your own light to things, the happier you'll be. And also like the more connected you'll be because you're showing up when you're fully in your true form, in your
Yeah.
butterfly, like, and that feels like definitely connected to happiness. I got all these. I mean, you must be a really like a parallel thinker to the nth degree. Like, do you just make connections when you hear something? You're like, oh, that's like that, and that's like that, and that reminds me of this, and that kind of. Is that how does your mind work like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's like all these little plus signs, all these little equidistant crosses, and these are all representative of integration. So it just is like popping off. It's like all these
Mhm.
connections. Oh, you said connection. Yeah. So there you go. There's all the connections. All right, come in here with white. Two things, black. And then so it's just a matter of like, oh, I'm so like commitment. So it's a commitment. But because things are constantly changing, especially with yourself, like the more that you learn, the more you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a new person, like from minute to minute to minute. And so the idea of showing up as yourself is constantly evolving. So it might feel like you're not showing up as yourself because you're different than you were a moment ago. But
Yeah.
you really are being yourself because that's the truth of who you are, is just a constantly evolving. We all are. It's just that you're so aware of it that it might feel slightly inauthentic, but I just want to like say, reassure you that whoever you are in the moment is who you are, even though that changes the next moment. And that's what's kind of coming through here is this. It's kind of, oh, what's this triangle? So yeah, you've got visions. You get visions and dreams and goals and hopes, and they change from moment to moment. And that is absolutely okay. And like that's very, very human. And I think it's just something that we don't really talk about. I think there's an emphasis on making a choice and sticking with it. And so those of us who are just much more fluid feel funny when when we're like, oh, I was this way a minute ago and now I learned something else and now there's this other
Yeah,
thing.
that's totally me.
Is it? Yeah. Well, I just want to reassure you that it's like it's beautiful and wonderful and it's exactly who the world needs you to be and to show up that way, and it's great. So don't listen if anybody like gets down on that, and definitely don't put
Mm.
yourself down on that, because you're part of the new what do they call it, cultural creatives, I think is one of the terms I've heard. But you're a butterfly cell, and that's we need you to be that way, and it might not be comfortable, but that's life. Life is really uncomfortable sometimes. But look at the magic around you. You know what I mean? And then I feel like this is like that violet flame kind of energy coming off
Yeah.
you. Just yeah, it's real apparent. But so if I can get a little closer in here, maybe I can emphasize that there's this triangle here and a circle. So the head
Yeah.
of the head of
And
Mm-hmm.
It looks the red thing looks like a head of a horse, and
Yes,
the horses
like
are
nuzzling it.
they help me very much to find who I am and
Oh my God.
help me develop. So
Oh, I love that. Yes, I see it too. There's the eye right here and a couple of ears and the
they're always looking for me.
oh. And so there's a saying about happiness. Um, I can't remember the exact words, but it was something like happiness, like if you are calm and it'll land on you like a butterfly. And so that's
Okay.
the thing with horses too, is they're so empathic. And so that's probably that connection that you have, like your deep
Yeah.
feeling. And so the butterfly would land on the horse if the horse is calm. And that
Mm-hmm.
red intense energy, yeah. And that's external, that's showing up externally. And then internally is like, yeah, it's almost like the sky. There's like Orion's belt right there. So
Mm-hmm.
it makes me think of the sky. That's when I see that, but it might be different for you, but like I definitely think night sky over here. So it's like vast internally, and then externally you find your groundedness in the horses and in that
Mm-hmm.
energy. Yeah, I love it. So that's your happiness, the peace and calm. Let me pull a card for you. And your connection to nature. Wonderful. Great energy.
Thank you.
Activation. And a big old full moon. Look at all the connection between this here and that. That's neat. And look, so often this looks like an apple. It's a heart, really, but I always thought it looked like kind of like a golden apple. It made me think of like a horse. But anyway, look at all the little plus signs in here, all those little
Mm-hmm.
in there too. So this one says, you have a heart of gold, kept safe in a sanctuary of your own design. Are you ready to be set free? Be awakened by true love's kiss, and that is the light of self-awareness. So yeah, just knowing yourself, the more you know yourself, the more you trust that you can be whoever you are in each moment, even if it's different from one to the next. And that's where connection with yourself and will lead to happiness. Yay.
Thank you very, very much.
You're very, very welcome. It's always wonderful to connect with you. Thank you for coming tonight. All right. Who's next? We've got, let me just check my waiting room and welcome to anybody that I've let in. I'm glad you're here. All right, I see. I'm gonna put your hands down if I've already read you. So, Aaron, hey, Aaron, welcome. Where are you still here? Let me see.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, good to see you again. How are you?
Well, it's going down with a bit of the flu that's going around, but I'm trying to be better. So I apologize if I sound a little off.
Oh, I'm sorry you got that. Well, maybe the connection here will help clear some of that energy out.
Here's hoping. Well, my cat's just staring at me.
Kat's like, what are you getting into?
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is, like, it's also her birthday too. So
It's her birthday. I share a birthday with a cat.
you do.
What's her name?
Oh, my cat, Freya.
Freya. Of course. That's perfect. Thank you. And thank you for sharing your birthday with me, Freya. All
She's
right.
like,
So what do you guys have on your mind today?
I was thinking about, since there's a lot of energy for me around April, I was wondering if we could get hints like what April might bring or what April
Yeah,
or just in general.
sounds good. All right, let's take a look at April for you. And 3 numbers between 1 and 40.
I'm thinking 3, 7, and 27.
3 and 27. And then a color that you like or that you're feeling today?
I feel like a teal green. I always seem to go to teal for some reason when it comes to this.
I like them too, yeah. So I've got 2 options here. I'm gonna show you and just tell me left or right.
I'm feeling the right one more.
Mhm. It confuses me because they named it green turquoise and
Oh,
my brain just won't accept that it's teal. So
I feel that.
all right, so we've got 3. This is beautiful purple.
Nice purple.
And so we're looking at April. Oh, it's very purple today. 3-7. We got some more green. 27. Lots of energy. Did you say that you were feeling a lot of energy?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Excuse my paint. Sorry. All right. Let's see what's going on in April for Erin. Do you have is that like a birthday? You got something going on in April for you?
Well, there's a lot of family birthdays. Like April has often been a kind of a challenging month, but I feel like this one might be different. So I'm kind of curious about that.
Okay. Well, what a cool color combo. I love
Yeah,
that.
interesting.
It's fun to pick it by number. I see things that I never would have put together myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
One of the things I'm feeling in the energy is like there's a lot of it and it's just kind of wanting to sit where it is. It's not moving a lot
Okay.
so far, like initially. So it feels like rather than things changing through movement, it's going to be more of like removing, like elimination. Like I almost want to say it's kind of like an energetic elimination diet. Like you're just going to pare it down to the real necessary ingredients of things. And
Yes,
that's going to give you some, yeah. Ooh, look at how, I
that's my
think when
favorite
people
color.
describe jewel tones, that's what they're talking about.
Oh, okay. So April in the past has often been kind of a challenging month, so I feel like this time it might be different.
Yeah. Is it challenging just because, there's a lot going on, or feel free to say what you want, but you don't, you're not obligated, of course.
Yeah. There's like a lot of births, deaths. My parents got married, so it's like all this kind of energy around the middle of April.
Wow, yeah. Right in the center, I'm seeing like, this is really catching my eye, and I feel like there's like this cube right here. So I'm gonna see what that brings. And I just felt like I needed to grab this one, to use as a border. Is this kind of infinity. I feel like the energy that you're talking about is really old. Like it's you know, um, been a long pattern, I guess is the
I'd
best.
say so.
I thought this was a cube, and now I'm seeing like no, I don't know. Just a little block. I'm also feeling that there's like some sort of I almost want to like compartmentalize all these little these little objects. Like I want to like
Yeah.
take the little pieces and like organize them so that it doesn't feel as chaotic. And so I feel like the energy is that way. And so like if you can like, okay, I'm gonna look at the first through the sixth, and then I'm gonna deal with the 7th through the 14th. And then I'm gonna, if you like
Yeah.
take chunk it and deal with it a few at a time. I also now want to turn this into a little house. And then this becomes a lake. And I feel like I did, but yeah, it was just the other day, there was like a dock or something in one of the calendar paintings with a goofy little like lamb or something photobombing it. It's like this kind of sanctuary feeling here. I think you can find your happy place. Do you have a way of like getting away from everything?
Not really at the moment, unfortunately.
I wonder what you could do to create some sort of sacred space for yourself. If
Yeah,
there's
that's kind of,
any, like it doesn't always have to be physical. Like you could just have
yeah.
a little table that when I was in limited space, I just had kind of a little altar and I love miniatures. And so I just rearranged things on this little like sand tray. And it was a place where I could focus all of my attention and kind of escape a little bit.
Yeah,
I feel like there's something like that would really help you through a time like that where you can really just, oh, look at, there's a little heart right there. Boop. It feels like, yeah, it feels connected to childhood. It feels, but also like there's a lot of love too in this space, like coming from within you. Mhm. There's a tendency, I think, okay, so like this thing right here, there's a tendency to I want to take it and like make it into something that it's not. Um, but like I'm like, I want to make that into like a sunshine. Like I
yeah,
wanted to make it into something happy. I'm like, oh, it can't just sit there, whatever it is, right? But
yeah,
I'm and then as I checked in and it's like, no, you don't need to change me. And so it's like a boulder or something, but I think it's like a big old rock. And as I started to kind of like reshape it, what I was feeling was if I try to change this thing and like make it into something that's more appealing, um, rather than emphasize what it is and just let it be what it is and kind of change my view on it, um, as best I can. I mean, it's still a big old lump in the middle of the painting, but
yeah,
it's like, oh, okay, I can look at it a little bit differently rather than trying to lift this big heavy thing and change it into something or, force it. So I feel like there's something like that too. It's got a butt. I don't know. It's it's a funny little, it's an odd little rock, and let it be an odd little rock in the middle of your sanctuary. Sometimes we get a pebble in our shoe and like it can be more uncomfortable trying to get the freaking pebble out than just getting to where you're going and taking your shoes off, you know?
yeah,
It feels like there's that thing too. So I guess what I'm wanting to say is like, don't work too hard at it. If it feels like you got to work too hard at trying to make things be different, just let it be whatever it wants to be. There's a little mushroom here. Did you have a mushroom in your last one? I feel like there were mushrooms in your other one or
um,
something.
I don't think so. I know like last one it had
Uh-huh.
the eye and the infinity symbol, and the one before had the shamrock, and the
Oh,
shamrock felt pretty
shamrock. That's
cool.
what I was thinking. Okay. Yeah. All right. Oh, there's a little dragon here. Look at that dragon. Hello, dragon. How you doing? Okay, so it's kind of, so there's protection. That's, I guess what I was feeling back here was like, oh, there's like a protective energy over your little sanctuary. So whatever it is, it could just be a little space in your head that you can retreat to. If things get a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, because I know my great grandmother on my dad's side, like she was protective too. It's like sometimes when someone tried to read my energy, it's like she was physically, well, spiritually blocking them from doing so
Yeah,
until she found out that it was okay.
grandma's like, that's cool. So yeah, I feel like you've got, yeah, like I think that came through before too, was like the idea that you were being looked out after and that you've got ancestral connections for sure.
Yeah.
I remember that that's what's with the shamrock one. Oh, look at these waves. Look at all the light coming off of that. Yeah, water. I feel like if you can, what I just saw was like just taking a bowl and putting water in it and
Uh-huh.
you just either just like staring at it and watching the calm ripples of the water, or even like arranging things in it, putting things in it and watching them float. Like if you like a more active type meditation type thing, I feel like a little bowl of water would be a huge um way to like, or I don't know why I said huge, but like be a really powerful way to create your own little sanctuary to kind of, yeah, to feel that for sure. Look at this little, So I love that your dragon is just kind of hanging out there.
Okay, just
Behind
chilling.
the mushroom houses. So we've got like so squares are foundational. That's like
Okay.
strength and feeling stable. And then on top of that is visions, dreams, that kind of visions, dreams, goals. So so that teal color right here is very vibrant.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
it feels like a transitional that I don't know what they used to call it when I was doing healing touch, like transitional heart or something like that, or like high heart, or I don't remember, but it feels like it's in this area around my heart. So it's like deep within your heart is what it feels like if you can just go within your heart here, and then kind of under this yellowish orange kind of, and use your creativity because you've got strong creativity, you find a way. But I do think like something simple like a bowl of water would be a really cool way to just kind of focus in on something else for a little bit when things get a little bit too much for you, just focusing in on something. And I think a bowl of water and some like dried flowers or something that you could just drop in the water, watch the ripples happen, just really quiet yourself into that. And don't try to lift to change things too much. Now that's looking like a beehive. And I think like, yeah, like you can, like the sweet things, let things exist and then you'll kind of reap the sweet rewards from it. That
Okay, thank
makes
you.
sense. And let's see what else.
Yeah, funny thing is I'm allergic to bees. I thought there's
Are
a
you
joke
allergic
in it somewhere.
Leave the bees alone. Don't
I
try
avoid
with the
bees.
beehive. All right. And then call to your pack. So, whatever your community is, if you, I'm going to be starting art support groups again. If you want to come to that, like,
Sure.
let yourself be who you are. You're not alone. Call out to, when you let yourself shine, let your light shine. That's a beacon for kindred connections. The more you show up to things, the more you speak your mind, the more you talk about yourself and the things that you're going through or whatever, use that. I think that too, that now that I'm looking at that, I'm like, oh, it's so much lighter than green. And I just felt it in here. And I think that's what water is about too, is like this flowing through here, use your voice. Use your voice to almost create your own sanctuary and but look at how I think that's what the dragon's got its attention. It's like, what? It hears
Yeah.
the wolf like, whoop. Yeah. So lots of like stability, I think, coming for you. So looking at April ahead, definitely there's a potential for you to create a sanctuary where you feel very safe, where you feel like those things can't touch you, and that you can also find connection with others. And that's going to give you some more of that like protection and stability through those energies.
All right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Always wonderful talking with you. All right, let me check my waiting room and give a stretch and drink some water and let's see who is next. What time is it? Oh, all right. So we've got some more time. I think I'm gonna make it through. I'm doing my best. All right. Diana. Hello, Diana.
Hi,
Let me find you. There you are. How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. This is my first time joining.
I'm glad you're here. All right. Did I say your name right? Because I know I've known someone named Diana that spells their name that way too. Is it
It's
Diana?
funny because, yeah, it's Diana.
Okay, cool.
My family calls me Diana in Spanish, but
Oh,
most people
really?
call me Diana.
Oh, that's cool. So what's
But I was,
going on? What's on your mind?
um, I think the vibe, I'm kind of seeking like encouragement, like a little love. Um, that's a vibe because I'm kind of jumping into something that's out of my comfort zone.
Mm.
And the body, it's muscle memory, and of course it's gonna try and tell you, no, stay where you are, it's where you're safe. But I'm trying to challenge myself, so I'm just looking
Oh,
for a little
nice.
encouragement.
Well, all right. Well, we could do that. So you want to pick three numbers between 1 and 40?
Yes. 12, 21, and 2.
And then do you have like a favorite color or just a color you're feeling today?
Not really. I was trying to pick a color, but I kind of just want to go with whatever you feel.
You want to pick another number?
Yes.
All right.
I'll pick 4.
Got it. So we get all the dark colors. Ooh.
That's interesting. That's very interesting because I was gonna say black, but I'm like, I can't be the one to pick black.
Ah! No, but like, is Deb here? Deb always picks black. That's her favorite color, so that's okay. That's
That's too
funny. So it
funny.
picked it for you.
That's
Oh
so
yeah, she
funny.
is.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah. That one over here. So it's interesting. It's like coming out in little, like this little, I'm just gonna touch it. I'm just gonna dip my toe in just a little. This is a beautiful, what is it? Dark blue gray. Like
I
that.
love it.
Great.
But I've always been fascinated by your art. I found you on TikTok when you did like, well, you still do the calendar.
Mhm.
Uh, and I've always wanted to, but you know, TikTok, you like lose people. I've been following you for a couple of years
Yeah.
and then I didn't see you for a long time.
I left
And
for a little bit. Yeah.
oh, okay, that makes sense. I'm like, TikTok doesn't
It
push
wasn't
out
you, it was
creators.
me. Yeah. I know I forget that I'm following someone and then like 6 months later I'm like, oh yeah, I used to love seeing this person.
Yeah,
And
that's
yeah.
exactly it. Mhm.
Mhm. All right. So the energy went out and then kind of came back to center again. And I feel like, yeah, so it makes sense that if you're doing something that's a little out of your comfort zone, that like you might push your energy out to like initially to get things going and then go and pull it in again. Then that's what
Yeah,
that
that's
was.
exactly how it's been. Now that's ball is rolling and it's like the story of like the snowball effect. It's like,
Uh,
oh, I can't stop it now. It's happening.
yeah, it's like birth, you know, you're not going to hold that
Mhm.
back.
Right. Hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a little water on this one too. So I feel like, and I wanted to mention, I can't remember whose it was, maybe it was Aaron's before, but like when I'm inspired to put water, I it's like flowing, like let the emotions flow, let the tears fall if they need to, that kind of thing, like releasing. Um, so it feels like there's like if you need to cry it out, you cry, you know, like
Yeah,
when we're uncomfortable, like that's the way that sometimes the way that stuff comes out of our body and we need to get it out. Um,
I love that because I'm actually a crybaby. I cry over
oh,
everything. Yeah, and I haven't cried. So that's really interesting.
maybe you're trying to hold it in to be strong. Yeah.
Maybe.
I minored in theology when I was in school, and my
Mm,
professor, she one day I walked in and I always sat in the same seat, and she had put a tissue box on my desk. And I was like, what is this about? She goes, we're going to be talking about innocent suffering today. And she just knew, because like I can't,
yeah,
I couldn't talk about stuff like that without
right. Oof,
breaking it.
yeah.
I mean, I can't watch commercials without crying. So I don't know, but and it feels like a very similar energy. Like, yeah, that's intense energy wells up and it's got to express itself. Are you an artist?
No, but I feel like I've always been told I'm very creative, but I've never dove into it. I always like I don't know. I did like crochet. I start
Mhm.
drawing every now and again, or like I play with makeup, or
Be an artist.
yeah. I used to dance as well when I was
Oh,
younger,
nice.
but I think I need to like tap into that.
Yeah. I could feel, so I feel like there's an outlet for you too. Do you sing? Like you could sing to
That's
yourself or
so I would never say I can sing. I love to sing
well, that wasn't the question. The question is, do you sing? Do you sing like in the car, in the shower, in the, you know what I
all
mean?
the
Like that kind of thing.
time. I'm
Yeah.
always singing.
And
Yeah.
I think that's a good outlet for it too. there's so circles, I'm just gonna kind of go into it because there's like a lot of these circles, and circles tend to represent wholeness and the self, and that's what I'm kind of feeling is like all these little passionate bubbles. I'm also feeling like these little beings are, I'm not sure what they are. I'm gonna kind of go with it. There's like a little eye here. I don't know if it's like a, at first I was like, oh, it's like cats, but it's not. It's like little
It
chipmunks.
looks like an axolotl or a
Oh,
snake.
like up in here. It's very watery. Oh no, this is a
Mm.
fox. This is a fox.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, that's a fox right there. It's a little fox
You
and
can see the nose bridge and everything.
yeah.
So cute.
Sweet. But they're just, yeah, they're real subtle and I'm talking to it like my freaking dog. These are little foxes.
I was admiring it too.
Yeah. Oh, and it's just peaceful. It's got like it's all scrunched. Its face is like nuzzling.
Mm-hmm.
It's so
Mm-hmm.
happy. So there's this part of you that's just like this, I think like instinctual or kind of, that kind of energy right in there. Let me just show you that little fox's face.
So cute.
Just really enjoying like the bubbles touching it, I think is like
It looks serene.
mm-hmm. Like, oh, these beautiful bubbles are coming to see me. Like boop, pop.
This is beautiful. I love it.
Feels really good. And so it's even though there's like maybe kind of like this, I wouldn't even call it like a dark night, but there's like there's unknown,
Intense.
you know what I
Mhm.
mean? So there's like these dark areas, but that's just because you haven't shined your light in them yet. And soon when you do, you'll know what's there. It's not like, yeah, so speculating about what could happen or what's there, it doesn't until, you won't know until you know. And so focus
That's
on the
true.
red, like focus on the fun red balls instead of like what's in the shadows.
That's true. I love that.
Here's another one. So you've got a little playmate here. I don't know if this is someone you know yet, or if they're, someone who's going to match your vibe. But they're there. It could be like your higher self or like the new version of you too. But I feel like it's going to be
Mhm.
reflected externally through somebody else. Do
I
you have a
am on a
sister?
journey of that, of um of the new me.
Okay.
Um I feel like I not to like talk so much, but I grew
Oh,
up
you
in
can
a
talk as much
very
as you
like
want.
I grew up in a very, very, very like toxic environment. And as I grew up and as you know, I'm an adult, I have seen so much that I don't, want to be. And I feel
Sure.
like I've changed so much and I go back and forth of like being proud of myself and then being like, wait, there's still that I need to fix. And this things that I catch about myself all the time.
Mm,
And I've learned that I'm never going to stop learning. It's a forever journey of evolving and being a good person.
yeah.
And that's really interesting that you touched on that.
Do you know who Matt Kahn is? Have you ever listened to any of his stuff? Ever
Matt
heard of him?
Kahn, no, but I'll
Yeah.
write it down.
I think he's like with Hay House now or something, but I heard him say one time, um, don't hold yourself, don't hold your present self hostage for something, some future version of yourself. Like, don't not enjoy now
The
because, you know what I
journey.
mean? Like, yeah, so even though you're not there yet, wherever you think you should be, you're exactly where
Hmm.
you need to be and you're doing just fine. Yeah. So
I love that.
circles tend to represent the self. They also represent wholeness. So there's like all these little pieces of you that are already whole in and of themselves. You've got that kind of connection up here. I do feel like there's yeah, that's why I was like, do you have a sister? Because it feels like you. So that's like you connecting to making that connection to your higher self or connection to your you can even say future self, but it's really all one or knowing yourself as the all, knowing yourself in that way, I think is part of it. So it's like higher self and then the physical self or those things that kind of joining together to play with all your different passions. And
Mm.
so, because I think you're probably a very good juggler. And
Oh my
so
God, yeah.
this is like, so you can juggle all these different, you've got all these different skills. When I saw you an artist, you're like, well, I do a little of this, I do a little of that. Well, yeah, like you're you're a multi-dimensional artist. And look at all these spirals. Spirals tend to represent growth and that people who are creative and like to learn, that they show up a lot. And so there's
You
like this,
always
yeah,
draw spirals like that
yeah,
for like
that's your
15 years
shape.
now. That's really weird because I doodle that. I could be learning something in a class and I would
Mhm.
always doodle those spirals. So
Yeah,
that's really
so if you Google preferential shapes and do like the preferential shapes assessment, it's really interesting that what it tells you about you. But I would guess that you would probably pick spirals as your number one shape, and that, that's your values of creativity and expansion and growth and things like that. That's what's showing up. And it feels like a spiritual thing. It's a calling. So follow your calling. That's what it is. Let me pull a card for you. And so this one, it feels like, so when you say coming out of your comfort zone, I feel like you're showing up and you're going to be seen more. And so that's
yeah,
yes. So it's like coming out
yeah.
into the external.
That's exactly what's happening. I've been working remotely since COVID, and I'm gonna be face to face with people now.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's that unknown. That's that discomfort in the unknown. That's why there's so much dark space, because until you turn the light on, until you shine your light into it, you really won't know what it's going to be like. So it's just all speculation. Um, Full spectrum soul. This is
Whoa, and look at the
perfect.
colors.
So it says, accept the limitlessness of your being to experience the beauty of dusk while you rejoice in the dawn. So both. So like I was saying, like, enjoy
What?
both. Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, no, that's
Look at that dark
insane.
colors and oh yeah. That's funny.
That's
Yep.
beautiful. I
Yeah.
really needed this today. Thank
Oh,
you
I'm so
so
happy.
much.
Look at that serpent. So like, yeah, you're shedding some skin, then you're ready to like, yeah, it's time. You're gonna be fine. You're good.
And
Look at
I'm
that.
gonna put it this way. I'm in Florida. I'm going to Oregon.
Oh wow, that is a big
Yeah.
change.
Mhm.
Wow.
Mhm.
Is it your family staying in Florida?
Oh no.
Are
My
they up
family's
there?
in New Jersey.
Oh, what? Okay. Yeah, so that's gonna be wild. You're gonna be
I'm so
great. You're gonna be
I'm
great.
so ready. Yeah, I'm so
Yeah.
ready. It's just.
It's just unknown. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just unknown. Gonna have to get used to, trees and stuff. I know.
I'm ready. I'm ready to be immersed in nature. I'm so ready.
Oh, I'm
I
glad.
just I want to say happy birthday though.
Oh,
Thank you
thank
so much for
you.
being here today. I know that you are touching everyone, and it's just beautiful that you're here on your birthday. Like I just wanted to
Oh,
emphasize that.
thank you so much. Well, it was really nice meeting you. I
It
hope I
was
see
so
you
nice to
again.
meet you. Absolutely, definitely. Thank you so much.
Uh-huh. Uh-oh, I am. All right. Let's see. Susan number 2 now.
Hello,
How you
long time
doing?
no see.
It's so nice to see
It's really
you.
good to
How have you
see you.
been?
I've been very busy, so that's why I've like always missed these happening. But it's been fun. Happy birthday.
Well, thank you. Oh my gosh, it's been, I don't know how long it's
I
been, a
know, it's been a
year or
while. It's
more.
been quite
It's
a
been-
while.
Well, I'm glad you're here. I was
I
really happy
am
to see
too. I'm glad I was able to make it tonight.
you. So what's on your mind? What kind of insights would you like, or what
Um,
intention do you have?
so I guess generally it's like I'm very much in this kind of joyful journey.
Right.
And it's definitely become more of a like joyful movement in the physical kind of way. So I've been doing like aerial yoga, so that's also why I haven't been around. That's because I'm
Oh,
swinging on silk.
wow, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But it also it's like another theme that's like coming up is like the joy. It's like exploration. It's like reconnection. And I've been able to like reconnect with friends from high school that I haven't talked to in
Oh, wow.
years. So it's been like really nice and things feel like really positive and like I know there's like a developmental thing happening for
Mhm.
me. Um, so I would love some like insight.
What's happening and where you
Yeah.
heading? All right,
Yeah.
let's look at that. So 3 numbers between 1 and 40.
So let's do 3. Let's do 18 and let's do 23.
What did you have that pink? So what color would you like to add to those?
I'm feeling kind of like airy, so like a sky blue maybe.
Okay, look at these. Look at that bright pink.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I didn't even intend to put pink.
I know. Oh, it knew you. It was like,
Oh,
oh
it
yeah,
knew.
we remember. We know
Boy,
what to
did it.
do. That's fantastic. Here's the 3. That's funny. It's got a second number. It's got 38 on
That's
it,
so
which are
funny.
like a lot of the numbers that you picked.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 2s and 3s and 8s. And this one's got a double number too. Yeah, I lose a lot of labels.
Hmm.
I love the gray with this. I feel like that's also quite airy.
Hmm.
It just wants to stay in little groups of 4. That one, then I was like, oh, that one's just gonna be 3, and then it came out twice. That's great. What do I know? All right. I don't know. I'm like, I keep wanting to emphasize that gray. There's something about it.
Mm.
It feels like a slowdown, like a,
Mm.
yeah. Well, and it could be, I don't know if your days have been quite gray. Mine have been quite gray here.
Well, I mean, today was a little gray and overcast. I was like at an offsite event for work today, so it's been a very long day. I was in the middle of Queens. Like, I don't go to Queens ever.
Oh, that's talk about getting out of your comfort zone.
Oh yeah. Like
That's
we were
funny.
driving through the neighborhood. I was like, am I even still in New York? Like this
What
doesn't
is
look
this
like New
place?
York.
What's the main difference between where you're at? Like, what's the big
So
geographical?
so like as because I had to take an Uber this morning because I had to be at the school at 7 a.m. and I live like in the North Bronx, so quite far away. And as we're driving through like Queens, there's like Tudor houses. Like it's a neighborhood of just like Tudor houses. I'm like, what is this?
Am I in a storybook?
Yeah, I'm just like, what is this fairy tale?
I love that. I got, you know what? I'm gonna turn yours on the side. I never do this,
Ooh,
but I'm going
okay.
to because it just looks like faces.
Mm.
And I want to see what's in them. You know,
Okay.
you know me, I never turn them.
I
So
know. Ooh la la.
talk about turning things on their heads or something like that, whatever the saying is. Yeah. And it's still, so this one, it feels definitely like 3.
Ooh, okay.
So I don't know, add taking a pottery class to your list, I guess. I don't know. Have you ever like thrown on the wheel?
I've never thrown on the wheel. I mean, I took a ceramics class in high school and I like used the pot I made for like really witchy things.
Nice. Well, now I'm looking at this one. I'm not really sure. This one actually, it doesn't look like a thing at all. It looks like a cat.
Oh.
And like on its paw, and it's like,
Oh.
couldn't care less about these paws.
Not like I'm gonna knock them over or anything.
I know. I don't know what it's doing, but it's very indifferent.
No.
But there's some spiral to the tail. Look at that little.
Mm.
Little kitty.
It's very cute.
And that blue. Look at that blue. God,
Mm.
I love that. Oh my gosh, like electric.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. Electric blue. It's electric.
Electric.
Take me back to the roller rink or something. Oh, it feels very homey.
Mm.
Very like comfy and
It looks very cozy.
and- yeah, they're definitely like hand thrown clay pots. I didn't make them, yeah. And then that purple. But here we are. It's so calming.
Mhm.
And I don't know if the vibrancy is coming through here, but ooh.
It's really pretty.
And then the cat's like on fire too. It's like a phoenix cat.
Mm.
You know, a cat could be a phoenix. It would,
Oh, I like
yeah.
Phoenix Cat. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, what? Okay. Yeah, that's another. I'm kind of feeling like Egyptian type cats, like these
Ooh.
are more of like statues that are sitting on top of this. Like
Ooh, okay.
I don't know what that's about, but let's give it a little bit of shadow. Something here. And so, okay, so are you ignoring your ancestors?
Uh-oh.
Because I feel like this cat is like, yeah, and then there's like the ancestors sitting, like coming, rising out of these vessels, going like, yo.
I mean, like, which ones though? Because like two of them are sitting on my altar right now.
Oh no. Or they're just kind of like patiently waiting for the cat to pay attention.
Pay attention to me.
Oh, that's funny.
I'm here.
And the cat's like, hold on, I gotta like lick my paw.
Let me just tend to myself.
Right? Which is totally fine, you know, and I think that's a beautiful thing about the divine or our ancestor. Like they don't have time. I mean, there's no time limits for them. They can wait,
Like I'm very busy being human right now.
right? It's like I have a physical body I need to tend to. That's really what it feels like. And these are out of their vessels. So these are bodies, just like the
Ah.
cat's body, and it's still radiating its light. So these two are just kind of like watching. Yeah. So it feels like I also feel like your perception can shift if you like literally turn things on their side,
Mm.
look at something else. What was your intention again? It was like development, yeah?
Yeah, like joy, physicality, development, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think it's like they're just kind of checking you out. I mean, they're like, oh, watching you like tend to yourself, which is
Mm.
great. You are, you're tending to yourself as you should be, flying up in the air doing yoga or whatever.
Yeah, it's on
Sounds
silks.
fun.
I've mastered an inversion, I will say that
That
much.
is very cool. And I think that's, yeah. And I think probably that's why it's coming through as cats because of that
Mm.
flexibility and that kind of thing. But yeah, I think that they're just kind of like watching you near their vessels, just kind of checking out. It almost feels like they go together somehow. So maybe like a couple, like I don't know if they're like grandparent, you know what I mean, like a couple from your, but I don't know how far removed, you know.
Okay.
But it feels like that anyway. And they're both kind of like, just like interested. So you're being watched and it feels like you're doing the right, that, you know, you're doing that. But so if we also, you're doing the right thing. I don't like saying the right thing because that's a weird concept, but, but you're definitely like on track. And I just love the light that's
I
radiating out of that,
know.
you
It
know, like
almost looks like a
it's full
body
of
too,
life force.
right? Like the head and the shoulders. It's not like
Yeah,
it
there's like a
has another
human
form.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And then if we put it back this way, let's see if there's anything. No, it definitely feels like it's got to be a landscape view. And I
Okay.
feel like, yeah, there's something about that. Let me pull a card around it too.
See.
They're so fun. I really
I
love
know, they're super cute.
them. Oh, that's great. And it's so interesting to me that the top, like there was no yellow, but for some reason it looks yellow in contrast.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
Mhm. So look at this fierce protector
Ooh
too.
la
Well, I
la.
think with these vessels too, maybe there's like more to come, right? So
Ooh, okay.
you are a powerful creator. Trust your instinct. That's a big, whenever I see cats, I'm like, oh, it's about instinct. Trust your instinct to protect your ideas during gestation, but hold on loosely, allowing the birth to occur without resistance. So if there's anything that's like coming up for you that's like, you know, the next stage of your development that you're a little bit resistant to, you can't really stop it because it is like a birth. It is
Yeah.
like, you know, it's part of your development, your process. So just be aware of that resistance to, to, you know, you don't want to hold back a birth. It's really
Yeah.
painful. So just let it go. Yeah, you are. Well, it was really nice to connect with you again.
Here. This is so fun. And again, happy
Spiraled.
birthday.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you can make it.
Yeah, me
All
too.
right. Well, it is 7:30, so I'm gonna pull cards for the last remaining people with their hands up. And then if anybody has questions too, and you want to chat, if you have questions about readings or anything like that, let me know. So this is a mini version of what I do for, you can book like a session for an hour long, and then it would be obviously like, it's a 9 by 12, so it's a lot bigger, but it's also a lot more in depth than we've, you know, can go deeper into the topics.